Hey guys, welcome to PQ, where we watch and talk about music as classical musicians, and welcome to part 2 of our Friday videos today. We are gonna do another Beatles. As we promised, we listened to Let It Be earlier this morning. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please go ahead and do so. We also made a playlist on our channel about all the Beatles songs and put everything in that. So you guys can also go check that one out. I'm gonna put a link for both of those here. But right now we're gonna do Blackbird. Actually, we got so many requests about this as well from all your comments. Again, one of the songs I was hesitant about doing so because I knew it, so that's why I was like, maybe not. But here we are. So we are doing this today. I love this song so much. Again, there's so many things about this song. The fact that it's just 2 minutes 18 seconds is just, again, it's just like a masterpiece because it's just like so many things happening in just 2 minutes. So we're gonna listen to it like without any interruption because I feel like this is one of the very rare songs that totally is just one flow from the beginning to the end, like so seriously. So I feel like it would be a crime to pause it at any second. So we're gonna listen to all of it and then we're gonna talk after that.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Wow. Oh my God, that was, I think, my first time that I've heard this song. I think I've heard it maybe like here and there before, but like the first time that I just sit it and heard the whole thing, it's, I have to say, it's like a masterpiece, really, because when you hear it, it's like you, if you're not, if you don't hear it as a musician maybe, or like you're like just hear it like that, you would say it's so easy, like somebody is just tapping from the beginning to the end and then there is a guitar and there is a singer. But if you know just a little bit about music, you know that how crazy is this song, from the harmonies that the guitar is making, that is crazy. How I don't know, sometimes it's dissonance but it doesn't feel dissonance, and it's just going like lower and lower at some point and you go lower and lower with it. And I don't know, it's so crazy, the harmonies that it's making. And then this tapping of from the beginning to the end, it feels like plus the innocence and the simplicity, the simple way that the singer is singing it, the kind of the placement of the voice that he's using, the register, the a little like air that he is, puts in his voice, and everything about it, how he sings, it gives this kind of innocence and simplicity, as if like a child, or like a teenager, kind of somewhere between teenager and child, is just like walking on the street, and like in this, and you hear their, I don't know, footsteps with this like that, and they're just like singing it like with this innocence of the child, and like, go and make yourself free, and even if your wing is broken, like, go set you free. And you may think and question yourself, why would they decide to make this song and with this kind of vibe for such a deep subject, and like the whole song feels like not child, but like I don't know, a song that you sing it when you're a child and everybody knows it, and it's like you sing it, and you may question yourself, why would they choose and make this kind of a music with this kind of vibe for such a deep context and subject. But if you think about, at least in our language, and in our childhood, some very famous songs that they were made and we were singing as a child, and they were made for like child slash teenager people, were containing exactly like this deep and like really heavy subject, because when you're a child or a teenager, it's exactly where that you have the least amount of like this presence that you make in your mind, and you're like thinking free, and you're like, I can do that, I can set myself free, I can change the world, I can do like important stuff, I can see what's wrong with the world and I can change it, you know, like you have this. So the fact that they use this and they saw like this as like made you like see this kind of subject as a teenager, and as how a child would see this, makes you think, yeah, why can't I just change it, why can't I just set myself free? If I want, even with a broken wing, I can do that. And I think it's a genius of them that decided to make this song for this subject.
Yeah, actually, that's the first time I thought about the reason they might have gone for something like simple on surface. That's actually a very good, like, very interesting take. I don't know if they thought about that or not, but yeah, as you said, it's just like kind of like a children's song because of obviously the simplicity of it, but also the way that he sings it, and then the foot tapping, and then the birds in the background. But something that really like elevates it for me, or like gives it a real, like, I don't know, like, again, another side of their geniusness, is that the guitar part, it's just one guitar, but then it has two layers, which is not uncommon for like something like Bach or like some Baroque music. Also, like, for example, in violin, I know that a lot of the fugues or a lot of the Bach pieces, they have those counterpointing moments when there's like two layers. There's like a bass line going on, and then there's a melody going on, and these alternate between each other, but they have two different characters and they each have their own lines. So then you kind of have to like listen for those separately and then see how they interact with each other. And then the guitar in the beginning, I think one of the reasons that is so, even though it sounds simple, but it's not, is because there are two layers going on at the same time. There's just one bass going, and then the melody is going on, and then there's like obviously so many beautiful harmonies. But then I think most important than the harmony was the voicing of it, how all these like they interact, how we go from one chord to the other, and how we are kind of distributing all those voicings and all those triads, or like more than that, all the chords in between that, because it's not just a matter of, oh, I want to go from, I don't know, F major to G minor, for example. It's just like how I kind of distribute and how I'm just voicing and leading all these voices to the next chord. And I think that's one of the things that is just like, again, so amusing about them every time I listen to it. It doesn't matter if it's on the guitar or on piano, organ, like whatever they're playing, or even in their vocal, like sometimes the way that they move from one chord to the other, it's just like, I don't know, so perfect. And speaking of the two layers, if you listen to the bass layer, it's mostly chromatic actually, because it's just going like half steps up a little bit and then a little go down, up, down, up. And then, I mean, it just makes me want to go listen to it again and again. But then that's what I feel like keeps it a little more consistent and more like grounding, because there's not that many jumps in the bass. But at the same time, it's just pushing the song forward. And on top of the melody is not that like stepwise. There's mostly like, there's not big jumps or anything, but there's just some certain leaps here and there and some skippings between the notes. And the counterpoint between these two, I feel like that's what makes it one of the most like simple but not simple songs of all time, I feel like. And then obviously the message that is talking about is just so simply said, but then there's just so many metaphors that use that, again, makes it so beautiful and makes it so universal. I know it was inspired by the civil rights movement back in the time, but then again, that can be used in any personal or universal level. It's just, it can be relate to you as like a different person, like a separate person living now, and then you want to break free from all the other restraints that you've had in your personal life. It's just like so open to interpretation, and it's so timeless. I feel like this is one of the most timeless songs that can exist. So yeah, I'm so, yeah, every time I listen to it, it just like amazes me every time. It just captures me from the first note. So that was very interesting. I'm so glad we did that, even though it was a shorter video because the song was shorter. But I think that was really fun, so we hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you want to support us more, there's a buy me coffee link in the description. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.